Alright, welcome back. Now I've taken our DVOM test one further, and I've got a picoscope, which is an oscilloscope. They're really good as far as testing, things like that. It's just software downloaded onto my laptop here, and as you can see, we've got recording of what pin 4 of ground and then what can high pin 6 look like. So this is the can high, what these transfer speeds go to. So if I put my cursor on the screen and then I push pause, oh, that was a okay, so now I've pushed pause again, and now I can see exactly the pulses of the transferring of data information, or the data packets. I can see the amplitude. It kind of stays pretty much the same. You'll get a little bit of a spike, but for the most part it operates from about 2.5 to 3.5 volts. And then obviously the frequency, or the cycles per second, or the amount of information that's being transferred. Okay, so now we're going live again. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to hook up our next channel here. So before we do that, I like to just make sure, I should have had this done before, but I want to make sure that we've got this grounded here. Plug this guy in here, and I've already got pin 5 ready for us. So here we are there. And then we're going to plug channel B in here. And we're going to come up here. I'm going to turn our channel B on. And then I want 10 volt reference as well. Okay, so now we can go ahead and grab one more connector here, plug it on, and now we've go ahead and connect that. So now we have a mirror image. So you can see our can high pulses to 3.5 volts and then comes back to 2.5 volts, and our can low, or pin 14, pulses to about 1.5 volts and then comes back up to 2.5 volts. Now this is what a healthy can communication looks like, and you can see it's so much easier to see when you're using an oscilloscope. You can actually see the waveforms, you can see what's going on, and it's a mirror image of each other. So it's the same message being sent on pin 6 as it is pin 14, and they mirror each other. And this is what a healthy CAN network looks like. What we're going to do is we're going to watch and see what happens. Alright, so when we have a momentary, we could say short basically, where we've got pin 4 and pin 6 going together, it takes down both communication lines. So both can high and can low go flat, just flatlined. When that happens. So for the next part of the assignment, we're going to briefly do the same thing to pins 5 and pin 14. Okay, so as you can imagine, that's probably going to do or have the same effect, right? Well, let's see just to make sure. Oh, freaks out in a different sort of way. Okay, so can low is taken all the way down, and can high we get some funky wave. Okay, so that goes down just like that. You can also hear in the dash we have relays that start to click as well. Alright, so now we've kind of seen what happens when we have a ground and either our can high or our can low. Now what we're going to do and again, just do this momentarily. We're just going to do a momentary demonstration here of what happens when we take pin 6 and pin 14 together. Okay, so if both of our communication wires short to themselves or short to power, let's see what happens. Okay, so they both take each other out and we read a constant roughly 2.5 volts. Alright, so something else to notice. We're gonna just push and hold this for 10 seconds so we can get the key on. Okay, so some visual cues. If we have a vehicle that's not communicating, or if we have some serious issues with the communication network, the CAN network. Watch what happens when we ground these together, okay? So more lights show up, we have more, okay, our range switch indicator disappears. We have, okay, park light comes on, traction control light comes on. We get all kinds of service, StabiliTrack, service, kinds of stuff here. So, again, just make sure that you're observant. If you have a car coming into the shop and you've got a no communication issue, or the customer says it won't start, things like that, pay attention to what's going on inside the vehicle. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? These things can really help you as far as the diagnostic process, in addition to connecting the scan tool and pulling fault codes. So again, this concludes our brief demonstration with our Picoscope and our CAN network. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon.